Hi everyone, Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV. Today we're going to show you a 2020 Newmar Canyon Star. This is a model 3929. Now we've been kind of anticipating this getting here. We actually ordered this, like a lot of Newmar products, we ordered this months and months ago and have been waiting on it to get here. So I think we actually ordered this in April. But we saw this out at the Newmar dealer meeting and we fell in love with it and we ordered one. I did a quick 5-minute video on the one they had out there, but that one wasn't really mine to sell. This one is absolutely mine to sell. So if you're interested in this, please reach out to us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos. This is going to be very different because this is a luxury bunk model Class A motorhome. Now, those words usually aren't found together. Usually, if it's a bunk model, it's more of an entry level. It's something that, you know, is going to be just at a lot lower price point, quite frankly, than what this is. So this isn't going to compete with those. This is somebody that wants to spend a little bit more to get better everything, from a bigger, heavier chassis to better furniture on the inside, better cabinets, you know, better manufacturer in a lot of cases. So that's what this is going to be geared towards. And if that's you, keep watching. Now, we do sell all over the country. We're in Greenfield, Indiana, and people tell me all the time I forget to say that. So we're in Greenfield, Indiana, which is a suburb of Indianapolis. We're just east of Indianapolis. And we do a lot of business all over the country. So California, Oregon, West Coast, none of it has been a problem for us. If you fly in, we'll pick you up at the airport, bring you here, and you'll take your new motorhome home with you. So if you already have a motorhome, you can drive it here as your trade-in and take it home with you. By the way, if anybody ever wants to put a deposit on one of these and they're worried about, boy, what would I do if I got there and it's not, you know, what they say it is, look, if we misrepresent anything, I'll give you your money back and shake hands with you and try to do business another day. But understand, we've been doing this a long time. I've never had to do that. We show you the good, we show you the bad, and when you get here, it will be exactly what you anticipate it to be, and you'll leave here happy. So enough on that. Let's get to this motorhome. Up front, you're going to find a pretty typical Canyon Star cockpit. This is obviously a gas motorhome. It's powered by the Ford V10 engine and the Ford 6-speed transmission. The nice part about these cockpit areas is everything looks familiar. I mean, you know, your steering wheel is standard Ford controls and the shifter is where you would expect it to be. Unlike diesel pushers where people have to look for things, wiper control is exactly where you would think it would be on the turn signal stalk and things like that. Now, we do have a backup and side cameras that will be shown on this monitor, and then this is your radio and your satellite radio and all that good stuff. Of course, this motorhome does have leveling, automatic leveling on it too. That's to the driver's left, where we have dual cup holders over there and a fully automatic leveling system. Very small hump here, not like the old motorhomes where it used to be a really large hump to get up into that area. Easy transfer into the passenger footwell there, so it's not difficult. I'll demonstrate. So easy to get in here. And then one of the niceties here is the passenger actually has a really nice table. This seat's up a little far for someone of my size, but this table just lays on your lap. Real easy to tuck away. You do have power outlets kind of everywhere in this coach, but right down here on the wall to the passenger's right-hand side, you have both 110 and USB outlets down there to power all your goodies. The front overheads in this, we have storage in the two overheads. We did option in a 43-inch television in this, and this does have the Wi-Fi. What you see in that top left cabinet, that's actually the Wi-Fi Ranger on here, so that's a Wi-Fi range extender. So you can have your own personal router and Wi-Fi inside your coach. This TV is an option. We bring it in a lot of times for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's not a real expensive option. Number two, the cabinet that you would get if you don't get the TV isn't really large. It's not very deep, so you're not missing out on much storage. And this does come in handy if you have a lot of people in the coach. You have guests over, or in this coach, this is likely to be a family coach at least part of the time. If somebody's sitting at the booth, you're going to have a hard time seeing the main TV around them, because that's on the televator. And like I said, if you have 4 people sitting there and you're trying to sit on the couch and watch the football game, you have a bunch of heads in your way. So it makes sense to have a secondary TV, especially as inexpensive as TVs have become here of late. Now, the booth dinette that you see here does fold down to sleep either one adult or 2 kids. And that TV does drop down out of the way as well. And there is storage underneath that booth. Come across the way here, we actually have a jackknife sofa here. This folds down to sleep 2 people. Both your driver's and passenger seats do rotate around so that you would have seating for, 8 or 9 people out here pretty easily without much problem. The main control center in a Canyon Star is generally found right above the door. Now when you get into this area here, you touch this screen and that's going to tell you both either your tank levels or control your HVAC. So there's all my tank levels, my battery voltage. I can turn my water pump on from here, all the information I need to know, or I can go to the HVAC side and control that, my heating, my cooling, that type of thing. Right now we are running off the furnace and the heat pump. It's a little cool here in Indianapolis today, so we have in the bedroom we have the heat pump going, in the main room we have the furnace going. So these are programmable. You can set them to come on and off at different times, that type of thing. Some of our other controls here, we have a Xantrex inverter. This particular inverter is for the bedroom, and that's an extra option that we put on there. So if anybody has a CPAP machine or anything like that, it's going to power your bedroom outlets and your bedroom entertainment center. Also, this coach does have the all-electric refrigerator on it, and the all-electric refrigerator comes with its own inverter. Now right here, this is our water heater. We can turn it on either gas, electric, or both. Over here we have our energy management system. This tells us what kind of power is coming into the coach. Right now the generator's on, so it understands it's got generator power in. It's got power to both legs of the AC power. This is our battery disconnect. If we're putting our coach into storage, we can turn off. This turns off everything 12 volt attached to the house battery. Our step switch here, now the step switch, you can either have it programmed so that every time you open the door the step comes out, or that once you're set up in the campground, the step just stays out and you don't have to mess with that. There is an override on this, just so you know, that if in the event, regardless of the position of the switch, if the ignition key is on and that door is shut, that step's coming in. So you can't accidentally leave your step out, is the idea there. We have our awning extend and retract right here, and then the awning lights switch. So that's kind of everything in this little control center here. We try to keep these videos brief, but yet people want them to be as informative as possible, so that's our balancing act. Over here, we have basically where you would put any entertainment things would be in this right-hand cabinet. As you can see, you have the Bose soundbar above that is already attached to the television. You can also Bluetooth to that, or if you're watching a Blu-ray, because we do have a Blu-ray player over here, that also would be attached to that as well. I believe we brought in the satellite dish on this. Let me make sure. Don't see the satellite dish, so no, we did not. We can add a satellite dish to it for you if you would like, and if you do add that, your receiver would go in this cabinet as well and would also work through your Bose system. So the tricky part with satellites, sometimes we bring them in, but we bring them in with like just our most generic in-motion satellite dish, and that may not be what people like. That's one of the toughest questions. It's actually not a tough question. It's one of the most frequent questions we get is people confused about your satellite options for television and your internet capabilities, which is a separate issue. But on that, we can do, what you need to realize is we can do pretty much whatever you want. Whether it's just Dish Network or DirecTV, high def, not high def, in motion, not in motion, DVR, no DVR. All of these things can be done. It's a matter of which dish you need to choose to do that and how much money you're willing to spend for your entertainment. Same way with your internet. There are internet options. This one has the Wi-Fi Ranger on it. You can get them where they work off your cell phone, or your cell provider would provide you with a SIM card, and you can do data that way as well. I can answer any and all of these questions for you. I don't want to get too in-depth with it on the video, but certainly all of these things are available to you. As I mentioned, the table does drop down to make a bed. This is on the Dream Dinette mechanism, so that's very easy to do. This is all Corian that is done in-house at Newmar. This interior is the Madras decor and the Calypso maple woodwork, and on the outside, this is the Duval exterior on the motorhome. And we'll shut these. Notice all these doors stay up on their own. They have the nice strut, so you don't have to sit there and hold them. And they actually pull themselves tight, which helps prevent rattles and that type of thing when you're going down the road, which will drive you nuts. This motorhome is built on the Ford 26,000 GVWR chassis. It is the heaviest duty motorhome chassis made. In fact, there are diesel chassis out there that are in this same range. So this will compete with the diesel coaches in a lot of ways. Okay, we have Corian countertops here as well with an undermount sink. Let me pull that out. That's a double stainless with a nice high-rise faucet. Beautiful backsplash this year. We'll put this back. All right, 30-inch convection microwave from Whirlpool. And right underneath that, we have a 3-burner cooktop. But that's undermount also, so when you're not using it, how beautiful is that? Get to some of our kitchen storage here. We have the little drop down. And then take a look at that storage. That's nice size trash can storage there. Get into the drawers. We have 4 of them just like this. I'm sorry, 2 of them. I can't count. They stuck a cabinet in on me. A lot of times we'll have 4 there. They snuck a lower cabinet in on me. Okay, and then 3 here. This one has the divider, and then the other 2 are a little deeper. Now these are the soft close drawers as well, so when you get close, it will go ahead and pull it in. Across from this, and this is a nice workspace here. See yourself prepping food here. You turn around, awesome pantry. It's wide, it's easy to get to, lots of shelves. Underneath there is the central vac. Okay, now your central vac comes with attachments, or you actually have the little flip up here that turns it on, and you sweep your debris right into there. So that makes it very, very easy. So we've covered the kitchen cabinetry, we've covered the pantry. We do have the residential refrigerator. This is a Whirlpool with an ice maker. This is much bigger than your typical gas and electric refrigerator. It does run off of the inverter. So going down the road, you can run as long as you need to, and then they stuck a nice drawer. As long as you need to, and then they stuck a nice drawer. As long as you need to, and then they stuck a nice drawer. Oh no. As long as you need to, and then they stuck a nice drawer right down here. All right. Now this is where the coach gets a little interesting. I'm going to let Tony do some filming in there, and then I'll get in the shower to demonstrate the size of the shower. And I'll open up some cabinets and that type of thing. So you have a full bath in the midship here. Now this is a bath and a half bunkhouse. Normally you would have the half bath in the midship and the full bath in the back, but this one's a little different. So, shower-wise, more than an adequate shower. I've got plenty of elbow room here. I can turn around. Plenty of height. Be 7-footer in here. So lots of room in here. Good countertop space here. Then all kinds of storage. Tony, I know this is going to be tricky, but I'll just try to open them one by one. Try to give everybody. This cabinet is deep. Okay. Nice deep medicine cabinet as well. Nice power outlet here. Good room around the toilet. I know sometimes I've been in these and the toilet's so crowded you can't really use it. That's not the case here. A couple of drawers, a flip down, storage there, and more storage here. So lots and lots of storage in this full-size bathroom. All right, moving on into the bedroom. What I was most surprised about this floor plan was at 39 feet, it's hard to fit bath and a half bunkhouse in, and then the fact they actually have a king-size bed with room to walk around it in here, that's incredible. So I was not expecting that at all. There are power outlets on both sides of the bed. Good size wardrobe here. All right, you have 5 drawers, just like this. The bottom ones pull out just a little farther. So you have 5 drawers like that, and then another entertainment center here. We do have storage under the bed. This is a pillow top mattress. It's actually a pretty comfortable one. Then this is where this gets interesting. Take a look at these bunks. Now they use nice thick mattresses. They put shelving back in there. There's good lighting. Both have big windows. The bottom one is an egress window. The top one is big enough that it could be an egress window if you wanted to. Nice ladder to get into that area. More storage. That's a huge drawer. There's 2 of those. And then more storage here. Take a look at this. Try to get that out of your way, Tony. That's a huge wardrobe. Then we got into where we have to make some decisions when we're ordering these coaches. We opted for no washer and dryer, but we did prep it. This is fully plumbed and prepped for a washer dryer. You have 3 options here that you can do. You can do what we have here, which is a double wardrobe, stackable wardrobe. You can do a stackable washer and dryer, which people tend to love those, but you do give up some storage space. Or you can actually do the all-in-one washer and dryer. Most people don't like those as well, but if you just, maybe the occasional small load, something like that, you might very well get away with that. So the option, the ball's in your court on that, whatever options you want. Then come into this half bath. This is plenty roomy for a half bath. Compared to the half baths that are in a lot of the high-end diesel pushers, this is every bit as big, if not bigger than those. You have 2 medicine cabinets. I'm giving Tony fits trying to keep himself out of the mirror. Storage down below, nice vessel sink. Again, some decent countertop space here. So these cabinets back here are like the circuit breaker box and stuff like that, so I'm not going to get into that too much. So pocket door to separate this bathroom off. As Tony backs up here, another pocket door here, so this bunk area and rear bath can be completely separated from the master bedroom. As we move forward again, there's another pocket door here for privacy. So that's a little bit about the inside of this coach. Let's go take a look on the outside. All right, one of the things we always like to do is show you the aisleway with the slide rooms closed. And as I told you before, we show you the good, the bad, that type of thing. Now, this motorhome fit a ton of stuff in a 39-footer. I mean, a ton of stuff. 3 slide outs, one of them being a full wall slide, obviously. Sofa, booth, large pantry, decent size refrigerator, king size bed, bath and a half, bunk beds. Man, they got it all in here. What's the trade-off? Well, the trade-off is when the slides are in, it's going to be a little tighter. Now, it's great through here. This is easy. I mean, this aisleway here, piece of cake. Where this does get a little trickier, not bad through here. I mean, I can certainly get in the pantry and all that. Around the bathroom door here is where this is tricky, because you have to go past the bathroom door and then come in. I think Tony's just going to have to stand back, because I don't think he's truly going to be able to get in here with me. We sure can't fit 2 of us in here. I'm about 1 trip to Bob Evans away from not being able to make that myself. So, and then once you're past it, I walked in very easily. So there's a way to do it that's not bad, but it is, it is kind of snug here. There's no arguing that, and that's something that you should be aware of. Now, I could get to the king bed easily, and I could lay down on the king bed. You're not really going to have an easy time getting to the bunk beds. Now, kids could. They'd climb right over that king size bed and be in those bunks in a minute, but with the slide rooms closed, that's a little tougher for us adults to get there. But like I said, we show you the good, the bad, everything about it, and we hope you love it. So let's take a look at the outside. Okay, here we are on the 3929 Canyon Star exterior. So let's get right to it. We have all the compartment doors open. Let's get right up in there. You see, they, of course, beautiful masterpiece finish, flush fit slides, the Newmar things that we're used to, frameless windows. But let's take a look at the storage. Now in here, this one's not a full pass-through, but you do have a nice carpeted area right here. Good storage. Let's move forward a compartment. This one is a full pass-through. Up top there, you see you have probably a foot or so that you have that goes all the way through to the other side. Same thing here. So good storage on this motorhome. We're going to come forward here. This one has some electronics. It has a 110 outlet or a couple 110 outlets in here. These are the tools for your central vac system, and that's good storage. Same thing there, more good storage. Your fresh water tank. Now it's not all on one side, it's partially on this side, and then it does go up and over the middle for balance in the coach. So it's kind of an L-shaped tank, and then they made it real easy to get to your drain. Sometimes the drain on the fresh water tank, manufacturers like to hide those from you, which is not at all good. Pull out Samsung television, outside stereo out here, receiver, so you can dial in your favorite radio station. You can Bluetooth to this. This is right out here under your awning. By the way, your awning is, of course, a power awning with a light on it, with the metal wrap to protect you against tree branches as you're driving through the campgrounds. So we're all set up very nicely on this side. Moving forward, this is all one big compartment here. See, that's open, so larger items can fit in there. Now you do have aluminum wheels on this, being the large Ford chassis. You don't have those cheap little hubcaps. These are actually aluminum wheels, and they are 22.5-inch tires, which are going to ride better than your Tony having some fun. Going to ride better than your 19.5s. So now this is our flagpole holder. If you haven't seen us demonstrate that, we have in some previous videos, but it comes with a little sleeve that goes in there and you can fly your flag. They have the side mount cameras here, and of course the backup cameras on the rear cap. There is a clear diamond shield film on here. It's hard to see, but there's a seam right there sometimes you can pick up. All of the paint, all the beautiful paint on this is protected on the front end from the bugs and the rock chips and that type of thing. This is an automotively bonded windshield. It's not what we call an H gasket. There are many manufacturers out there still using a floating windshield. A floating windshield just means that they cut the hole in the front cap, they put it in there, and there's literally a rubber H gasket that the windshield just kind of hangs out in. It kind of just floats there. This has a steel backer molded into the cap. It's bonded in there like the windshield in your car, so you don't have that. But when you see that real wide gasket there, floating windshield, so it's a good tell. This is all mirrored. You can kind of see some of it's peeling off here. We like to leave this covered as long as possible for the enjoyment of the future owner, but this is all nice chromy mirror stuff. Makes it look like $1 million. Let's move around to the sunny side of the coach here. First compartment is merely our propane tank. Most people only have to fill their propane tank once or twice a year. It's not a big expense in motorhome land. Fuel tank, you're going to have to fill a little more than that. Propane tank, really, most people don't use much. Okay, so here we have our batteries. These are our house batteries. Looks like 3 of them on a pull-out tray. Another really large compartment. These first 3 compartments are connected together, so you're wide open here. So again, larger items are easy. When it comes to winterizing your coach, they made it easy for you there as well. You can see this one's winterized, but this little guy right here, you stick that in a jug of RV antifreeze and turn a couple of valves and it will suck that RV antifreeze right through the coach for you. Now, this is our sewage and gray and black dump, our first one that we're coming to. We'll go over that here in a minute, but there is one right here where you would normally find it, right at the wet bay. Whole house water filtration system right here. Black tank rinse, 2 black tank rinses because there are 2 black tanks on this coach. You do have an outside shower out here with hot and cold water. This is a heated compartment whenever your furnace is running as well. We come forward into here, we have a sewer hose storage down below, and then this just takes regular unleaded gasoline. More storage here, so you can see this is that other half of that pass-through, and same thing here, this is that other half of that pass-through, right over your generator. Now something to talk about on that generator, that is an Onan 7000 generator. Normally on gas motorhomes you get a 5500 or a 4000. The 7000 is working a lot easier than either one of those two, and it is going to be a much quieter generator. I mean, I'll get my microphone close. It's just not loud at all. I'm talking over it without yelling, without screaming. Now back here we have our shore power cord and our second black tank. Because of the design of this motorhome, because there are 2 toilets that are a long way away, I mean this toilet is right up against the back wall, they had to do, you got to have gravity. I mean, things have to flow a certain direction. It does indeed run downhill. So, and on a black tank, it has to be pretty direct. So, in this sense, there are actually 2 black tanks on this coach, and that's what you're seeing there. Now, that doesn't mean that every time you dump your tanks, every 3 or 4 days while you're using this coach, that you're going to have to dump this rear black one. Your black tanks usually don't fill up that fast. It's usually your gray water that fills up anyway. So I would say, you know, once every week, 10 days, you might have to empty the secondary tank here. We can even set you up with a large, what we call a Y hose, if you're going to be set up long-term at the campground, where we come off of this one, we come off of that one, they come together, and then there's just one hose going to the termination point. So we can set you up with that in our parts and accessories department. As you can see from the back here, we have high-mounted tail lights. These can be seen over or around a lot of tow-behind vehicles, a lot of your toads. This coach is still set up to tow up to 5,000 pounds. Our backup camera's molded into the top of the cap up there, and this stuff that's covered up right here, that's also more of that mirrored finish. So this looks like a diesel pusher going down the road. This is a wonderful gas-powered coach. I would take this thing anywhere in the country, and I could take a lot of family members with me. This thing will sleep 8 people, so that's a beautiful thing. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Call me with any questions. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe to our video page. We'll see you next time. I'm Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV.